Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We're sure glad you joined us. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson from Kansas State University, and today my guest is Dr. Casey Olson, who is the Lewis Endowed Chair in Range Livestock Nutrition. We're going to talk about the buzzword and the term that's going around, fetal programming. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us and enjoy the show.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Folks, this is Dr. Casey Olson. We're tickled to death to have him come across the street from Animal Sciences and spend some time with us today. Dr. Olson is the Lewis Endowed Chair of Range Livestock Nutrition here at Kansas State University, and he does a lot of work around the state, around the country, and around the world on range cattle nutrition. And today, fetal programming, we hear about it. It's in all the magazines. It's on
just about everyone you pick up.
Everyone, except for my church bulletin. But it might be there this Sunday. But what exactly is fetal programming?
Well, fetal programming is the idea that if we nourish a pregnant female in a particular way, that there will be unexpected benefits in performance of her eventual progeny.
Okay, so in other words, manipulating the growth rate of the calf in utero. Things that we do at that point.
That's definitely part of it.
Okay.
We wouldn't want to overstimulate growth in utero, obviously, and feed ourselves into a dystocia problem. That's not necessarily possible, but the idea is that if we optimize nutrient flow across the placenta to that conceptus, that eventually there will be benefits that pay out to that calf during calfhood and also during finishing, in the case of a terminal animal, or lifetime productivity if that would happen to be a heifer.
Okay. Well, and we've talked a little bit, off camera and during different meetings, when it comes out to when we look at the NRC or we look at our nutrient requirements of cattle in the first, second, and third trimester, is there a point in time that people are more targeting or less targeting as far as the fetal programming as far as those 3 trimesters, or are they all pretty much equivalents?
To me, what seems to be the most critical in the literature would be the first third of pregnancy and the last third of pregnancy.
Okay.
Now, this term is new. Fetal programming as a term is new. It's kind of a buzzword. But it's not a new idea. Okay, we've recognized for decades that if we treat that pregnant mother right, that we're giving the calf advantages that in some cases we wouldn't normally predict. I say it's a buzzword. How many of you out in the audience heard the word proactive a decade ago?
Right.
Okay, proactive is another buzzword. I'm not sure if anybody can really define it, but it became part of popular culture, and that's what's happened with the term fetal programming.
Yeah. So when I look at it, fetal programming is another description of supplying proper nutrition at the point in times while the dam is pregnant.
Yes. And let's be honest. What we know about this thing that we call fetal programming is actually very modest at this point. It's based on a series of studies that came out of the University of Nebraska several years ago. And very simply, dams in late pregnancy were fed to where body condition was adequate. One group received an energy-based supplement, another group received a protein-based supplement. Now, the progeny of those dams that were protein supplemented, they weaned a little bit heavier. They did a little bit better in the feed yard, and they did a little bit better on the rail. Okay, the increase in performance was small, but it was measurable and it was significant. And that's really what we know. I mean, that study was the modern birth of what we call fetal programming. Okay, we know it.
Let me cut you off there because we got to go to a commercial.
Sure.
But when we come back, let's pick up on that and let's discuss a little bit more about how this evolved into what we now call fetal program.
Suits me.
Thanks for watching Doc Talk. We'll be back in a minute.
Broadband has become as important to us as highways. That is why DocTalk is teaming up with NTCA, the Rural Broadband Association, and rural broadband companies like Blue Valley Telecommunications in fighting for quality broadband access through the program Smart Rural Communities.
I don't think we have any idea what's coming in the future. I couldn't have imagined 5 years ago what we're doing today. So in 2 years, I would guess there's things we can't imagine that we're going to be doing.
To learn more, visit ntca.org/smart or bluevalley.net.
DocTalk, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Folks, welcome back to Doc Talk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson. Here's my friend and colleague, Dr. Casey Olson, who is the Lewis Endowed Chair of Range Livestock Nutrition here at Kansas State University. And Casey, we're getting into a good discussion on the Nebraska study. So it showed that different levels of feeding to the dam, the offspring wound up having better performance, better carcass qualities, things to that nature.
Yeah, and it was less about level of nutrition than it was about the identity, the nutrient identity of what was in that supplement. One supplement was energy-based, one supplement was protein-based. Both sets of dams had adequate body condition, but the results were different. The dams that had a little bit of an advantage on the protein side had calves that were healthier and that grew more.
So when we start to think about this, and I'm assuming the ones that had the protein supplement were not in a negative energy balance. They were also, had an energy supply that was adequate to get them through the
Yes.
gestation and the winter. So
Yes.
it really gets back to the fetal programming is really more about proper and adequate protein supplementation.
Yes. I mean, the phrase, the buzzword suggests that, a calf has a computer chip and we can program it somehow. That doesn't work. But there is obviously an advantage, a performance advantage for the protein supplemented dam's progeny relative to the energy supplemented dam's progeny. Now, in the Nebraska study, both groups of cows had adequate body condition. There was, to my recollection, no advantage one way or the other. Protein in particular, though, seems to do something special for the fetus. Okay, we had to give it a name. Fetal programming was that name. Since the advent of those studies, there's been a tremendous amount of monetary resources, human resources, put to the question of what is fetal programming and how can we influence, by maternal nutrition, performance of that offspring. I'm not sure where that is going to get us.
Okay, so when I start to think about protein and some of the products we have out there, there's a lot of people using distillers, there's people using byproducts, using urea tub-based, lick blocks, different things to that nature. Is there anything out there that says there's one protein source better than another, or one that a person, that we're looking at in terms of the fetus?
Well, in my judgment, no. Okay, protein is protein where this notion of fetal programming is concerned. What it looks like to me, if you look at the 30,000-foot picture, is just flat good management. Okay, we've known for decades that protein nutrition in late pregnancy was critical.
Right. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, let's jump back into some of this late-term pregnancy and gestational nutrition. Something I know you are passionate about, something that a lot of our viewers are passionate about. When we come back, more with Dr. Casey Olson. You're watching Doc Talk. We'll be back in a minute.
This Meet the Future Veterinarian is brought to you by Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Tyson Beyer, a student at the University of Saskatchewan, recently received an Amstutz scholarship. As a fourth-generation rancher raised on a cow-calf operation, Tyson grew up in the cattle business, and it was natural for him to pursue an education in bovine medicine. After graduation, he plans to work in a large animal practice, then move into bovine reproductive technologies.
Hey folks, Dr. Dan from DocTalk. If you miss us on Monday morning, you can join us at 6:30 a.m. every Sunday morning on RFD TV. DocTalk has a national following. We're sure glad that you joined us on Mondays, but if you miss us and you want to catch us out on a Sunday morning, get up at 6:30 a.m. and we'll be right there, RFD TV, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll see you down the road.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
DocTalk, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Casey Olson. We're here at Kansas State University, where Dr. Olson serves as the Lewis Endowed Chair of Range Livestock Nutrition. And you know, when we left for break, you said something that kind of caught my attention, and I think probably a lot of people on the show, but fetal programming is nothing more than the best management of our pregnant cows, or best management practices.
I may be a little biased, but I believe that that's true. I think one of my closing comments in the last segment was that we have known that protein nutrition of the dam and late pregnancy in particular was critical. It's critical for success of the dam, critical for success of the offspring. Now we have many options for supplement choices for cows going into the winter months, that period of poor quality forage. Regardless of the means that we choose to deliver that protein, we get immediate benefits to the dam. Okay, in one respect, when protein nutrition is adequate, intake of that low quality forage increases. Okay, in some circumstances, it can very nearly double In the second circumstance, protein will actually increase energy availability from that low-quality forage. It's not uncommon to see a 50% increase in digestibility of low-qualty forages when an adequate amount of protein is supplied. Okay, that research was done here largely at Kansas State in the 1980s and 1990s. It's a well-known and widely practiced management option here in Kansas. What we were unaware of at the time is that there may be some additional benefits of maternal protein supplementation that then pay out to the calf later in life. This was something that our colleagues at the University of Nebraska pointed out, and that the animal husbandry community has just kind of gone after whole hog. They've latched onto the term fetal programming. Everybody wants to do it. Here's the issue. I don't think it changes fundamentally the best management practices that we've been using for the last quarter century.
Yeah, in other words, it may be fetal deprogramming has been more of an issue of people trying to skimp here or cut a corner management-wise on getting protein out to the cows. And what we're really finding out is that, hey, if you do what you're supposed to do, these cattle turn out pretty good.
That's right. The thing to keep in mind is that there is no computer chip in that calf or that dam. There is no programming that occurs as we know it. What happens, though, is that the manager develops an eye to evaluate cow condition, or maybe keeps records that involve cow body condition. That's still the best indication that that cow is in a nutritional status adequate to bring that calf into the world and allow it to suckle.
Cool. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Dr. Olson, and we'll wrap up kind of our take on fetal programming, fetal deprogramming, proper management of those cows to get a good calf on the ground and good growth rates of that calf while it's on your ranch. Thanks for watching DocTalk. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hi there, folks. Dr. Dan from DocTalk. Are you BQA certified? If you work with beef cattle and you're not, you should be BQA certified. So if you work with beef cattle on day-to-day as a beef producer, whether it's cow-calf, stocker, or feedlot, whether you're working in an auction market, whether you're 4-H, FFA, or ancillary to the beef industry, it's something that you need to do, and it's something that you need to be familiar with. Beef Quality Assurance has been around for over 25 years, and it has been the cornerstone for education for producers about things such as antimicrobial residue avoidance, food safety, animal welfare, sustainability, castration, dehorning, and many different things. And today, this educational opportunity is not only available face-to-face through your state coordinator, but it can also be attained online through Beef Quality Assurance online training provided by Boehringer Ingelheim Vet Medica. If you go to the website bivi-bqa.com, you can be registered and certified in Beef Quality Assurance at no cost between now and April 15th. Also, if you register and become certified between now and April 15th, you'll also be entered into a drawing to win a Yeti cooler and a barbecue package valued at $500. It's a great program. It's something that's been around for over 3 decades. It is the cornerstone to safe, wholesome, affordable beef. It's Beef Quality Assurance. Get certified today.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Kansas Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Casey Olson, and it's always a pleasure to have Dr. Olson on here because when we start to think about beef cattle production and profitability, I don't think you can start looking much besides buying the animal and feeding the animal. Those are the two biggies, at least in the feed yard and on the ranch side. But Dr. Olson is the Lewis Endowed Chair of Range Livestock Nutrition, and give us kind of the summary. We need to hear it every year, but going into that last third of gestation, what are we looking for?
Okay, managers, you can have fetal programming, and you're going to get it by conforming to what you already know is best management practice. Okay, a majority of fetal growth, maybe as much as 60%, is going to occur during the last 60 days of gestation. Okay, when you're managing that pregnant female, you've got to allow your diet to change its character, either in amount that you offer or in the nutrient density of that diet. Okay, you've got to support the cow, you've got to support that rapid logarithmic fetal growth, last 60 days of pregnancy. Because if that dam calves in adequate body condition, she'll be able to bring that baby into the world, she'll be able to support herself through peak lactation, and she'll be most capable of rebreeding 90 days later, okay, 90 days after calving. You're helping her be all she can be from a genetic standpoint, just with that short-term nutritional support, and protein supplementation should be a part of it.
Yep, and I think that's the key, is that understanding that even though we put, we reinvent the wheel constantly throughout.
Yes, we do.
Nutrition, veterinary medicine, it's a lot of times I say it's different people and different cattle going through the same problems. And
cynical but true.
Yeah, well, that's me. But rebreeding, body condition score. Do you have any rule of thumb where you want those cows at the time of calving?
Okay, if a mature cow can be a condition 5 on a 1 to 9 scale, that's where I need her. I'd like to give heifers and first calf heifers, second calf heifers a little bit more of an advantage. If I can allow them to calve in a BCS of 6, I like to do it that way.
Cool. Well, I think that good nutrition, good management, being a good producer, animal husbandry all ties in.
It does.
Thanks for being here today. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thank you.
Folks, Dr. Casey Olson here at Kansas State's Department of Animal Science and Industries. He is the Lewis Endowed Chair of Range Livestock Nutrition. I want to say thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a great show. It's been a lot of fun to spend time with Dr. Olson. Be sure to work with your local veterinarian, work with your local nutritionist. If you want to know more about what we do here at Kansas State University, you can find us on the web at www.vet.ksu.edu. Thanks for watching DocTalk. I appreciate you joining us here on the show. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.